Parts of eastern Australia can expect further heavy rain, hail and even snow from today in what is quickly becoming one of the wettest August months on record. For more, I'm joined by Angus Hines, Senior Meteorologist at the Bureau of Meteorology. Angus, a 4-day drenching, we're being told. How big an area is going to be affected by this?
Morning, Gemma. You're absolutely right. It has been so wet through August so far, and that trend is not changing, I'm afraid to say. Not the news that people across, in particular, eastern New South Wales wanted to hear, but also parts of southeast Queensland. And the rain, which is setting in really tonight and tomorrow morning, it will last probably until the weekend. It's going to affect eastern areas from about the Illawarra in southern New South Wales, through Sydney, through the Hunter, the mid-north coast, the northern rivers, into southeast Queensland, maybe up through the Sunshine Coast and towards the Burnett district, as well as some inland areas through the central and northern tablelands. So it's a lot of people who will get at least modest falls of rain, if not a little bit more than that, in the coming few days.
So let's go to the big cities. What does that mean for Sydney and Brisbane?
Well, for Sydney in particular, it's quite important. It's been so wet there. We've already seen nearly 4 times their typical August rainfall in the month so far, and we're only just over halfway through. So it's been so wet since the start of the month that another week of rainfall is really not what that city needs at the moment. So it's going to be another week of puddles, of mud, of wet, dreary conditions. There's the potential for some flooding across parts of around the Sydney area. Maybe we'll see some slightly more significant flooding a bit further north away from the capital there. Brisbane is going to have a wet week as well, probably not quite as much rainfall as Sydney, and it also hasn't been quite as wet as Sydney has been in recent weeks, but still a pretty wet week ahead for people in Brisbane and southeast Queensland, with showers each and every day between now and Saturday. And
outside of the capitals, where's your focus?
Yeah, the focus is really on northern and northeastern New South Wales. So in particular, probably spots between Newcastle in the south and about Coolangatta Tweed Heads in the north. So that gives us the northern Hunter, the mid-north coast, as well as the northern rivers for eastern New South Wales. But we also expect some reasonably persistent showers to affect the central and northern tablelands and the northwest slopes and plains. Some of these areas are still seeing flooding from the last rain event, which was coming up to 2 weeks ago now, but the rivers are still running high in some areas, so further wet weather over northern and northeastern New South Wales will continue to feed those rivers. Because it's been so wet, the rain is not going to soak into the ground as it's already saturated, and it will run straight into the river network, and that's why we anticipate these river levels starting to climb. The heaviest falls for that area coming in probably Wednesday and Thursday. Those are the 2 big watch days, even though you might get some rain before that.
And I mean, with those rivers rising, are we expecting flooding?
Yeah, it definitely seems like a situation that is going to give us flooding. It's going to cause those rivers to rise, particularly near and north of Sydney, as well as south of Brisbane. It's a bit early to say which river catchment areas might get the most rain, which rivers might respond the quickest and the highest and the hardest. So I think for today, we will be issuing a pretty broad flood watch across northeastern New South Wales, with a lot of rivers covered in that flood watch, which will see the potential for flooding in the coming days. And then later on in the week, as we get a bit closer, start to track that rainfall, see which rivers are most affected. Some of those flood watch areas will turn into flood warning areas, saying, yes, these are the rivers which are going to flood. So certainly for northeastern New South Wales, it's a week to keep an eye on those forecasts and warnings.
Yeah, so as you said, one of the wettest August months on record. What does it mean for the ski resorts?
So the rain is mostly going to be north of our big ski resorts down through southern New South Wales and across the border into Victoria. So they're actually seeing minimal, if any, falls from this weather event. So not much of a top-up down in those big ski areas. However, given the rain that's likely to fall further north and the cold temperatures in the atmosphere, we could see a dusting of snow through central and northern parts of the New South Wales mountains, potentially around the elevated parts of the central tablelands, inland from Sydney, and even up in the northern tablelands, we could see some flurries through the New England northwest region and other spots in the far northern mountainous areas of New South Wales.
Angus Hines from the Bureau of Meteorology, thank you for the update.
Thank you.